Hey folks, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO. It's been a while, but I'm excited because we are back. You know, I took 2017 and traveled the United States with my wife. We went and worked with massive amount of clients, had some phenomenal fun times, but it gave us that quality time we needed to say, look, what was it that made us great to each other, not to the world, to each other? What was it when we were having the most fun? And it was when we were doing what we felt was our purpose in life, our calling in life. And that is to go out there and really help guide and other people. You know, I've built large organizations and made some pretty good money in this business, but like most people in this business, I spent it all. I didn't build my net worth, so I've been through 2 bankruptcies, was leveraged like nobody's business when the oil spill happened in the Emerald Coast. I mean, it sucked. But from 2010 to now, it's been a whole new ride because we've been able to go out there and help people in a whole new way. Our client base now runs from international corporations from Canada to Asia. We've got startup companies here. We've been able to do some awesome stuff, and we've built a phenomenal net worth. And at the end of the day, that's what this is about. It isn't about how much money you make, it's how much money you save. And that's something that you don't hear in companies, that's something that you don't hear from uplines. Matter of fact, you see this crap on the internet all the time. It's everybody out here looking at their cars, looking at their house, looking at all that. I do my best not to show any of that. But when we do, we're very specific. This is a lifestyle that we have grown to enjoy because we can afford it. Matter of fact, Paige and I's new show, Home and Business with Paige and Troy, talks all about this because we're shooting footage from everywhere that we travel, and we're talking to young entrepreneurs that are on Main Street. See, at the end of the day, in my book, it's not about direct sales. It's not about just franchising. It's not about just affiliate marketing. It's about Main Street. Main Street in your country, Main Street in my country. It's the backbone of what makes a country great. It's not these Fortune 500 companies or these Fortune 50 companies. It's sure the heck not the politicians. It's you and me. So we're going to do a new show that's based around topics. It's based around giving you some wisdom journalism, meaning that we're going to provide you with some information, and then we're going to provide you with ways to make sure that you don't fall into the same trap that some of the rest of us have fallen into over the last few years. That's the key. We're going to have some fun times here. It's going to be unlike some things that you've seen, because as I look back from 2005 to 2014, what really permeated out there? What was it that people enjoyed the most? Where did we get well, if you're a marketer, where did we get the most traffic? Where did we get the most eyeballs? And I'll tell you where it was at. It was on providing positive news is where it was at. Over at the Home Business Radio Network, where we're the news director, you know, we do 5-minute segments 3 times a day, and it's the most listened to part of the network because people really want great nuggets of information. Are there great TMZ sites out there for the home business world, for just traditional business, Hollywood and all that? Absolutely, just go enjoy those. But if you really want information that is very biased, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you believe all the press, everything that's out there, and they talk about fake news, unbiased news, all that, it's never happened. All you gotta do is go back and look at history everywhere. We have a freedom of press for a reason, and it's because those people want to give you the information that is factual, and then they're going to give you editorials. So you're always going to get an editorial from me, but we're also going to provide you some facts to think about. So at the end of the day, you make your own decision. It's not based on what I say or what I believe. It's based on what you believe is right for you. That's the key right here. Now, when it's a black and white, illegal, legal, we'll probably chat about that a little bit. But when it's an ethical issue about what's right and wrong, I'm going to share with you what I believe is right based on literally the laws of first principles, saying when I took this to a logical deduction, and when I went all the way down to the conclusion, here's what I found. If you find something different, so be it. But we're going to have a blast with this. Now, I don't want to keep everybody on this first one very long, but there's a couple things we need to look at. Number one is I got this sent over to me first by Tom Chenault, and then he sent it out, I think, to everybody. Tony Canuli sent it out to the successor over at the MLM Watchdog, and everybody's talking about non-competes. Well, number one, all of our clients, the first thing I do is I look at their policies and procedures. It's very easy to see which legal firm actually probably put them together. I think Rod and I and maybe a couple others were the only ones that actually wrote policies and procedures based on the direct selling or the Direct Distributors Rights Association. That's the Association of Network Marketing Professionals, so you have to forgive me on that one. But at the DSA, or the DRA, we had sat down with some of the great attorneys at the time, Jerry Nara, Scott Warren, there were several others at the time, Jeffrey Babner, I believe, that was there. We sat down and we came up with some phenomenal things. So Rod, Keith Lagos, myself, Lynn Clements, we were writing this stuff and pushing what was a balance. Here's what companies need to do, here's what the reps need, and we held each other to a higher standard so that it was we. It wasn't us against them, it was we. Today, you don't see that. Most of the policies and procedures that are written today are there to protect the company. So when I look at policies and procedures, I'm very clear, and I tell my clients, you don't need a non-compete. You've already got a non-solicitation. That's cool. You don't want people, cross-promoting products at the same event or doing the same thing, but you don't need a non-compete, because into the 21st century, the freedom of information is so rampant out there that everybody, I don't care who it is in more than one type of business, or they're promoting more than one type of business. Most of them have some type of an income opportunity attached to it, whether it's an affiliate program or something else. And the non-competes aren't against promoting somebody else's product. It's about promoting another income opportunity. So don't hamstring people. But the conversation came up, well, do you need a 2-year non-compete? And it's like, no, you don't need a new 2-year non-compete. Now, the two companies that are out there today that have the strongest non-competes, and if you're with these companies, you need to understand this. Number one is Narium with their 2-year non-compete, and the other one is Melaleuca, which is basically a lifetime non-compete. And Frank Vandersloot and I have had some tremendous conversations on this, and I see him as a mentor. I see him as one of the good guys in the industry, but I hate his policy 20. And what I really appreciate about Frank, and this is what freaks people out, is that if you ever go and watch the old show Chisholm, or you watch Young Guns, you see where those cattle barons were there to protect what was theirs. And those men and women that rode for the brand were there to fight for the brand. And that's how Frank Vandersloot is. Matter of fact, one of my clients is that way in and of himself, and they're great friends, and they both raise cattle. But Frank's philosophy is, Troy, it's not my business that I'm protecting. It's all my other people that I'm protecting. And as we talked about this, it started to make me realize something. We have a lot of different things that are happening in the 21st century. It used to just be that direct sales was about you and me. It was one-on-one relationship marketing, let's go build it. That's not true today. Sometimes an owner of a company may own 5 or 6 companies, actually. Sometimes that top leader in the comp plan that you're seeing all the time, he isn't even the one that owns the position. It's a financial person that owns that position, because people have realized that network marketing distributorships, as they're still called, are worth a lot of money. And I have friends and clients that control the top spots in 5, 6, 7 companies. So when you look at the fact that we as a profession, we as an industry, we as a community have grown, these non-competes don't work the way they used to. They hurt the average person, and they don't stop the big leader who's just going to go out and do it anyway, because part of their business model is to put away legal funds to fight something if they need to. So bottom line, you don't need a non-compete period in your company. All you legal eagles that might watch this, you guys need to stop this crap. And if you want to debate it, call me. Because there's no reason for non-competes except to keep you guys out there mediating deals, sending out letters, and it's great for the retainers. Okay, and we don't need that. We need to come up with a solution. So I want you guys to be part of that solution, but the non-competes are killing everybody, and we just need to get rid of them, is what we need to do. Keep the non-solicitations. Some great companies out there that don't really have non-competes. I believe Longevity doesn't have a non-compete. Prove It doesn't have a non-compete. Lavelle doesn't have a non-compete. Judy's Dream that's launching doesn't have a non-compete. There's some great companies that we're seeing that said, look, we don't need the non-competes. We want to be a place where it's all about us building businesses together. That's the first thing I wanted to cover. Second thing I want to cover before I let you guys roll, and this is huge. We're still seeing a lot of crap in the crypto space. Now, I have crypto clients that we are busting our butt to make sure everything they do is legit. We've got a client here in the US that literally has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on their SEC attorneys to make sure that everything that they're doing is within the guidelines as the SEC sees that. Now, here's what I want you guys to understand. The majority of the crypto space has not been tried out in a court of law, so we don't have a judicial opinion on this. We don't have anything to go with. All we've done is the regulatory body, the legislative side of this thing, and the law enforcement side. When you look at the FBI and all that, the SEC, for the most part, the IRS, a couple of the others, have stated we see crypto tokens. Also, we see the ICOs, the initial coin offerings, as securities. So if you don't register those securities and get approval to have those, then we're going to call them unregistered securities. If you have any type of financial agreement that has an ROI on it that looks like a security, then the SEC is going to say, we think it's a security, and we're going to send you a cease and desist. Now, in financial world, cease and desist, fines from the SEC happen all the time. From Jamie Dimon, Goldman Sachs, doesn't matter. But when you're in direct sales, it can be your death shot is what it is, and it's a killer. So you need to make sure that if you're with a company that's doing crypto, number one, that based on the current information, they're legal to do business in the United States. That means that they have established themselves. They have a great SEC attorney in the U.S. that understands the crypto space. They're walking down that path. If they don't, I would strongly suggest you stay away from it. The other thing to look at is the mining side of this. A lot of people have said, well, Troy, we're not doing the coins. We've got mining rigs, so, you know, we're making the money on the backside. Okay, if you don't own the rig outright, meaning that the company has sold you that rig is in your name, it's sitting in a hosting company somewhere, and you're paying hosting fees every month, then it could be seen as a mining contract, mining certificates. It could be part of an ROI bonus pool. Any of that kind of crap is borderline at best, but I'm telling you, do you really want to go down that path? Because if you're walking so far to the gray and you put all of your energy in it as a rep and something happens to the company, your money's gone. Now, number two, if you look back to AdSurf Daily, Zeek Rewards, Telex Free, Vima, Herbalife, it doesn't matter what side of the fence these companies were on, the regulators are going after the top promoters in the field, and they're clawing back all those commissions, all that money that you made. So do you really want to go down that path? That's the kicker that you have to look at here. So guys, so do your due diligence. I love crypto. We've had a phenomenal run with crypto. I have not been in any company, period, that has a compensation plan to it. I learned how to go out there and invest. I learned about crypto assets. I learned about Bitcoin. Matter of fact, my mentor who taught me about Bitcoin never said, Troy, get into a comp plan or anything else. He walked me through and showed me how invest in it, make some money, pull that money out, put it in fiat, put it in hard assets, build your net worth. He just drilled into me, build the net worth, and that's the key. So guys, hey, it's been fun. I just wanted to cover those two things. Really do your due diligence, okay? There's some issues. If you've got questions, feel free to shoot me over a private message or something. We'll chat about it a little bit. I'm not going into a lot of detail because that's not here. If you want a detailed report, then obviously we're going to charge you for that to tell you about that company. That's the only way to do that. Our time is the only asset we can't get back, and that's what we're here. So we're going to be doing this all the time. If you've got stuff you want to know, you want to see on the news, let us know. We're going to be popping it out there. We're also going to be giving you, starting next week, some great resources on each report. Now remember, this one here was sponsored by BOD HD. Matt Ward and his team over there have got a unique business model, number one. I mean, if you're looking to enhance or bring in another income stream in your health and wellness and you're passionate about that, you might want to check out what he's doing. But even more importantly than that, if you want to biohack your body, if you really want to kick this up a notch, then you need to go check out what Matt's doing over at BOD HD. Get his testing, his reports, all this stuff. Do what you need to do. Get him on the phone. Get the MDs on the phone, because you may find out that you're just a split second from a heart attack. And if you can make some shifts, make some changes, life can just totally explode for you in a positive way. And by the way, I don't mean heart attack as in, oh my gosh, my heart. I'm talking about you're not feeling good. You think you're just done. You think that at 54, you know, you're not 17 anymore. I'm telling you what, I'm 54. I feel 17 again, Bod HD can be the answer for you. I'm glad Matt and his team believed in me enough to sponsor our new show. Live life like it's an epic adventure. Live with passion. And if you're a home-based entrepreneur, if you're working on Main Street, doggone it, act like it.